Hello. Welcome to this new coding video where we are going to use Claude Code to develop an application. This time we are not going to use Cursor or GitHub Copilot. If you are interested into Cursor or GitHub Copilot, I have done many videos already on my YouTube channel. But in today's session, we are going to use Claude Code, and it's very exciting because after setting up the project by running Anthropic AI Claude Code, where we can finally enjoy and use Claude Code, we are going to directly start our project. In this course, we are going to create an autonomous agent that will code for us for hours straight. It will be a really exciting journey. We are not going to use Cursor. We are not going to use Windsurf or GitHub Copilot or whatsoever. Just Cursor, just Claude Code. No Cursor. Cursor, goodbye. Claude Code. We could also have used ChatGPT code. It's very similar. ChatGPT. There's actually a Visual Studio Code extension. VS Code, but in our case, we are going to use the Claude extension or VS ChatGPT code VS, and that's to connect ChatGPT into VS Code extensions. Where is that extension? Codex. Yeah, that's the one. I was using it in another video, but in our case, we are going to use Claude Code, and also to have a Visual Studio extension to replace basically the Copilot by Claude only. It's super powerful. Yeah, very powerful. So now that's the introduction of Claude Code.
Imagine being
my bad. That's some
build an app with your name on it.
Just for now, while waiting the ad is finished. Beautiful. So this was the intro.
We want to make fun.
The show how it works basically.
So next,
and how and what's really nice is that we
with the customer support,
we can have context, we can have instructions for Claude Code, but it doesn't matter what kind of file. We just need to mention to Claude Code where are our instructions. So we can quickly have a look at the intro video.
Kat, I'm a product manager.
We built some tools, one of which we're sharing.
What's the one?
Claude Code is an agentic coding tool that lets you work with Claude directly in your terminal. We're going to show you an example of it in action.
The terminal. So, now, of course, we can integrate, similar to MCP server, we can integrate with VS Code. That's what I was showing. And similarly, with ChatGPT, we can integrate ChatGPT with VS Code with the extension I was looking for to integrate that. And that's like MCP, where it connects to the model from a external service. But that's for later in this course. Now, the first thing we will do is first to start installing our terminal, our command in our terminal. So to use Claude Code, we need to have it installed to be able to use it through the terminal. So what we have to install is this little package. We can have a look in the npm directory. It's this one. And this will allow us to have a really nice CLI, so a command line interface, to interact with Claude through our terminal, and it will have full access of our computer, and it will just be like an engineer inside of your computer. Really see that way. It's an engineer doing its stuff inside of your computer, and then after 3 hours, you can have a look. Like you start with instructions and so on in the morning. You start like exactly, you have to be super precise what has to be built or what has to be refactored. Usually it's for big projects, and then after in around lunchtime, you test, you see what went well, what didn't went well during the morning while Claude Code was working for you. And then after you debug, you test, and then you give more instructions for the afternoon. And then a few hours later, you check again. Of course, it costs money. You have to use your API key. You have to be aware of this. We will after go to console.claude.ai to request our API key. The first thing, so it will be to install Claude Code, and we are going to go to our terminal. In my case, I use Ghosty. It's a it's an emulation basically. It's an emulation terminal. Ghosty. You can use item, but I kind of like Ghosty. It's a really nice emulator. So it's a terminal emulator, and feel free to use it if you like it too. In a previous course I did like a few months ago, we built PS7 console. And PS7 console is basically very similar to Ghosty, but it's a ML, so a machine learning first terminal. And that's what we have been building in the previous course. If you're interested to look at the huge course I did on how to build a ML first terminal, feel free, it's on YouTube. And there are many videos actually related to that course. So PS7 console ML first terminal, and everything was recorded. I screencasted everything, and it's available on YouTube as well. So for now, however, I'm using Ghosty. I could use my terminal actually, but Ghosty is a little bit more stable, I would say. So not to have more bugs in this video, I prefer to focus on something super stable. So this is, but I use ZSH for the language. Like you have Bash, ZSH. Ghosty is just an emulator, so that's the shell, the Unix shell we are using. Like you could use fish as well, and yeah, that's what I'm using here in my case. Alright, so what I'm going to do is to do npm install and then G for global. Oops, and we have that's only permission. I think it's because I already have it installed on my other user on this computer. So if I do Claude, normally you shouldn't use sudo, and it's not recommended to, but I believe it's just because I have it already installed, and this is why I have to do this. Okay, now I have Claude. Amazing. Claude code. You see, it's even asking me to what mode I want, the dark mode, the light mode, what kind of theme I want to set. The first thing, it will ask you to have the access on documents folder. Documents, I'm okay with that. Music, no. Why do you want music? Images, not really. Documents, yes. Desktop, that's fine. I will check that one. Claude code. I'm not too sure for this one. From other apps. That's not the answer. If I search specifically for this, oh yeah. I will say don't allow for now, just to be safe. Let's see. But normally the more things you allow, the more freedom Claude will have. So it's, more freedom, it's also more risks, but more freedom is to be more autonomous. And here, dark mode, I'm happy with this. And then Claude account with subscription, Pro Max, or in our case, Anthropic console account, API. This is what I have in my case. I don't have the Pro Max or Team. I will check actually. I'm just curious because these plans are kind of new. I don't know how much they cost. I was using before the $20 plan a month. How much is the max plan? The max plan combines Claude Desktop, mobile app, and Claude Code in one subscription. That's nice. Yeah, because before I didn't have Claude Code. So max is $100 a month. And it's not on. Right, $100 a month. Team plan is of course when you have more users. Max plan. And they don't do student discounts. If you are a student, you can have Perplexity for free actually. Perplexity Pro. If you are a student, regardless where you are a student, if you are a student in the US, in Canada, in Australia, you can have Perplexity Pro for free as a student. But the other the other like ChatGPT, Claude, and similar AI companies, they don't do students discount. And you can also have Comet as a early access, which I do actually. Comet is quite nice. I haven't got the chance to use it too much, but it's also, I highly suggest you to give a try. And so for us here, well, we are going to, in my case, I have my API key, so I'm going to use console. So number 2, I just need to sign in to my account. Here now I'm signed in and I do authorize. So it will generate an API key on my behalf. It will access to my Anthropic profile information, that's fine, and to my privacy setting API for the coding session. And we are nearly there. Automatically, like it makes our life so much easier because it does everything for me. I just have to select some information here. And once it's all done, we can click on complete. And then it's asking for payment methods. So just fulfill your payment information and you will be ready to start Claude Code finally. And lastly, it's asking me to buy credits. We have the option between $5 and $100. In my case, I would recommend you to go with $5 for now. It's really up to you. 5, 10, 20, $5 sounds a good amount to start. Starting small, it's always a good idea. We can also opt in for a auto reload of credits. Do I suggest you? Yes and no. It depends on your budget. It depends if you want to just test it and you are not very serious, or you want to build something big and you don't want to have the restriction of always add new credits every time. It's a little bit as a pay as you go. In my case, I'm adding $5 for now. I will probably manually add more credits to my balance later on, so I will leave it as it is for now. And this is the best screen you can have. We are all set for Claude Code. Hurrah! So now we can close the window and we can start doing something great. And now that's the screen we have. Login successfully. Please press enter. Beautiful. Yes, use recommended settings. No, maybe later with terminal setup. Let's quickly have a look. What's the recommend settings? Recommend settings, Claude. I will use Perplexity actually. Later on, I will log into my Perplexity because my Perplexity now, it's my new Google. I have Perplexity on my phone. I use Perplexity all the time. I have the Comet Perplexity browser as well. So I'm using Perplexity everywhere. For any kind of quiz, I have a question. I love Perplexity. Google, I just text Google. Google is like not for me anymore, and it's so good to change, and it's so good to have something more efficient. And I will just switch to Perplexity in a second. I only have to log in now, but in the next video you will see me. I will use Perplexity. The only issue is that when you use Safari, you cannot change the browser. There's no way except having an app, or you have to hack a little bit the Mac to be able to change your browser, your search engine by default, because Safari doesn't allow you to change to a custom search engine. You can do that with Brave, you can do that with Chrome, but not with Safari, sadly. We can actually, after we log in, but we can use a free plan for now. And yes, recommend settings, Claude. Oh, my request is so bad. Or what is? So where you go? What is Claude Code and not? I wonder what's the recommended settings. When we got invoke carefully configuration settings. Okay, you can photo effects. Interesting. So we can do yes for now. 1. Claude Code may read, write, execute files. That's fine. You can, this can pose security risks indeed. So only use files from trusted sources. Oh yeah, that's important. And here we are now. Tips for getting started. Run init to create a Claude.markdown. We can also have a .ai folder where you would have all of the instructions for Claude. in my case, I like having Claude Markdown, so I can do init, and it's going to create the instructions for me. And then after we can build our project. It's so good to have like Claude working for us. It's just a different world. I love it. Amazing. And we are progressing, as you can see. It's setting everything, the contributing Markdown, with me Markdown. Again, like I said, if you want to organize better everything, you can have a .ai folder. You can see it reads my other projects. PS7 console. So it's looking for everything. It's looking for everything on my computer. And yeah, that's the recommended. If I look here for the sources, recommended settings for Claude. Complete Claude code. If I will close that one, I will close that one, close that one too. Beautiful. Alternative solution. And now we can go to next here. Identity and access management. All right. We can go to security. Yeah, that's we have to be careful there. I suggest you to have a look there as well. Data usage. Do you want to create a Claude.markdown? Yes, I want to. Yeah, I will do one. So it's creating a Claude Markdown for us. And in the meantime, I will open a new window here, and I will go to my code folder. ls. Yeah, we only have PS7 console. Perfect. Or development, architecture. And now we can start building a project. Comments or development testing. And that's VS Code. That's for the update. High level, create. Oh yeah, that's from PS7 console. Yeah, quickly check. How we do? Yes, PS7. I will quickly go there to check what. Oh yes, it created Claude.markdown inside of that project. I see. Inside of our existing project. That's interesting. Oh yeah, that's fine actually. And that was my last commit I did. Yeah, that was to submit to the Apple Store later. So we can already add the Claude. I will display Claude Markdown to see again what we have there. Commit Claude Markdown for Claude code. But we want to create another project. Create a brand new project. Folder will be Design My Life, which will be a simple, I have no idea actually what to do. Simple. What kind of thing we want to do or to build? Folder will be Design My. Folder will be Freelance Finder, which will be a simple app that makes or maybe something simpler, such as let me look on my phone what app I use often. Oh, I think I do know. Learn AI Data Science. Yes, because I have the app for my university, And Blackboard is the app my university uses, and I think it's nice. Learn, because I'm finishing my Master of Data Science, Learn AI Data Science, where students, it will be the users, and that's my prompt, this one, can learn AI data science easily. All the content will be generated and updated with AI. Yes. This will be a Flutter app that will be available on iOS for now. The app needs to have a well-designed UX. I will find some examples. Yeah, I will do that. Like learn. It can do like we don't have to find similar apps. It can be like different learning apps. So learn languages based app, and we can copy one of the best app. Yeah, Busuu. I know Busuu very well. They do things quite well. Bible, probably Duolingo, and we can like similar well-designed. Like I think Duolingo is one of the best in terms of the UX, the user experience. Duolingo, but Busuu, I like how they do things too. Busuu, and which one? Monday, I don't know that one. So like, yeah. And then we can continue our prompt. Claude code prompting. If we look here. And also, what I suggest you to do is don't hesitate to ask AI, so the model. So like ChatGPT, for instance, you ask ChatGPT, how would you write that prompt? AI models are amazing because you can ask them to know how to use them. Like with ChatGPT, with Claude, don't hesitate to ask them, how can I write a better prompt? Can you evaluate again? Can you review your results? But also, can you tell me how I can write a better prompt to have something closer to what I want? And then you describe what you want. And that's a really good hack, is to ask how you can write a better prompt, to review and to reevaluate themselves, and to do a completely different approach, to use a completely different approach when things don't work out. All right, so that's the Claude Markdown. This is what we have now. And then we can just write our prompt. Yeah, we can use codes as well. How do I log an error? Mute. Beautiful. And then here, update the chart. Code. Let's quickly look again at the video. Claude code intro video. Yeah, that was the one. Lovely. Oh,
feeling overwhelmed at work?
We are just waiting for the ad to finish. Lovely. And then here, yeah, that's when Claude is coding or thinking.
And we can see how it's decided to tackle this problem. Yeah. We can also show its thinking. Claude,
thinking. The architecture is designed by a module.
Add a new chat button. I'm gonna ask Claude to help me out here.
That's to see an example of prompt they use. We will now add the ability to save chat locally. We replace the thinking component. That's for the way how Claude works. And actually at Anthropic, the majority of the new releases, 95% are done by Claude itself, which is really interesting. The engineers are only coding through Claude code. And yeah, they only use Claude code for everything now these days.
Claude start.
Wait, welcome. Explain me this project structure. And then they continue there.
And we haven't specified any files or paths. And Claude's already finding the right files to update by itself. Problem. And so say I was asked to replace this.
Alright. it.
So say I was asked to replace this left sidebar with a chat history, and I'm also going to add a new chat button. I'm going to ask Claude to help me out here.
Yeah, that's what we saw. It's cooking, and then it's doing the code. The chat history functionality has been, that's the result, the final confirmation, the summary of what has been done.
Claude's asking for permission.
And then after,
That the features we just
write a test for the change. That's another idea of prompt. And in my case, I will continue then with, I need to look for some examples of, because our prompt will be big. So that way here, it's a brand new project and we need to have a really good prompt. I need to find more samples of apps I want, and I need to think more about what kind of project we want to build together. So I will actually continue the recording, and I need to charge my computer too. 10% left.
Claude compile the
Everything.
I will have a break for me.
And
for you, it should not be a break.
It'll push the changes to GitHub.
Because the next video will just be...
That's it. That's an example of what Claude code.
And yeah, that's amazing. So they push to GitHub now. Now the changes are motive. That's amazing. It does everything, you see. It can patch. It can easily patch any bugs, any issues, and commit by itself on GitHub or any GitLab or Bitbucket, any Git hosting repository. I mean Git hosting services. It can do everything. Create some pull requests, doing the release, everything done for you. Basically, AI, it's working while you sleep. It's really that. We will now add the ability to save. Yeah, that was the same prompt. Beautiful. It's a short video anyway, 3 minutes, so that's why we don't much samples. All right. Now the prompt should be more or less finished. So that's what I changed. You see, I added some nice libraries I use myself. I know they are really good, like Fast API, PyTorch, and state models. And there are Pandas AI, and yeah, Matplotlib, not new, but it's still a standard to use. Scikit-learn as well. And then we are still here with the Duolingo, Busuu, and another app that could be good. Learning app, it could be learning best app. Let me just find a last one. Last one would be, oh yeah, I do like Khan Academy. I would mention that one. Perfect. So we are mostly done there. And it's funny because I was reading about the commands we can use for Claude Code, and it's really nice because there are a lot of shortcuts we can use, and after we just do like / and then the name of the command. So like in my case, the command I want to use will be create app, and it will be / create app thanks to the command. So it's a really straightforward process to indeed streamline the workflow and to automate common tasks. And some people, they do have a live OS just built on this with comments, and so they have like comment newsletter, and it will create a newsletter based on their own way of writing something. So they say, read my newsletter where I used to have about 10 or 20 best articles and find some trends and some patterns of some news now, but write it in my own words. So first fetch my own newsletter and then write articles. In my case, I have been writing articles for so long by myself, so AI could have a lot of data the way I write. And for you, I would suggest you to first write like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 articles by yourself, and then after you can ask AI to clone yourself by writing similar articles in the same way you would write by yourself, same expressions. And so there are always patterns you use. The way you write is a little bit different than others, and that's your own DNA. Well, that's something else, but I was just writing about, looking of like, how can I automate my life, like a life OS, and yeah, comments are super powerful. So I'll just close that tab. Beginners, yeah, I was looking actually if I made a typo or not for beginners. And yeah, here that's they also speak about comments actually there. We can also, I was speaking about .ai folder, we can have a .claude folder. And normally when we do init Oh, that's only the Claude. Yeah, marked down automatically, what we did previously. But we will do that too inside of the Claude folder. It's better than just having a Claude.md. But that will be for later. Yeah, so Claude.md can have several locations. And if we have comments and if we have other things, it's better to place it inside of the Claude folder. And then monitoring, yeah, I was looking for other things we could do later on, but we will already submit this. That's my prompt. I'm happy with this. Yes, so we press submit and it's starting now. So you can see the amount of tokens, and we could also go with YOLO mode. Let's save though, but they do have a safe YOLO mode and a dangerous one. Right, so do you want to proceed here? Create a Learn AI data science like I asked. And if I want to proceed with this, yes, I'm happy. So I press 1, as simple as that. Do you want to proceed here? Flutter version, yes. Or after we can say 2 for don't ask me again. No, Flutter is not installed. I didn't install Flutter, so probably it will notice that. And we can see in real time the amount of tokens it uses. If I did install Flutter already, we would have saved time, but that's fine, and we would have saved tokens. But that's okay. So now it's asking to, I will do allow all edits during this session. We'll do number 2 now. And then, how it's Claude? Yeah. Alright, so we just wait. You see, that's the comments we already have. Add the agents, clear, and actually it explains here what the default comments we have, like the clear comment, and that's the default ones, and then we can create new ones if we want to. So many things we can do actually. It's really fascinating the amount of things we can add, change, update. It's just limitless what we can do. Yeah, it's really cool. Like the way we can create things these days, it's just, there's no limit. We can create so much. So we can see now the colors it's using, and that's the app theme. Of course, like if you create an app with Flutter, it's going to use Dart, the programming language by Google. Dart programming language. Now we can go to Perplexity. I have actually logged in to my account, so this is the pro account I do have. And actually I will also do settings here, and I will set here as a home page. It will be Perplexity, it will be this one. I'm going to change this one to Perplexity instead, like this. Beautiful. Yeah. And here to be new window open, and new tab to homepage, and that's a homepage. So now when I create, when I open new tab, beautiful, I have Perplexity Pro there showing up. That's amazing. So let's go back here. It's setting up my Flutter project, and we can assist what it did. And again, like the YOLO dangerous mode, it has all permissions. So if we go to here, but it will not ask anything, to bypass all permissions checks. That's why it's like dangerous. We have to trust what it does, because basically it has admin access on your computer, which can be risky. So always, you can just have actually one laptop just for AI coding. That's also an option. Some people do, and I would actually recommend this. At the moment, I don't have another laptop, but I think it's something I would definitely do if I have the opportunity. Probably in the future I will. Here it's using Ollama as a default one for our model. Yeah, to support multiple LLM providers. Ollama is definitely so it's going to install Ollama on my computer. I'm not too sure. In the meantime, we can check here Dart programming language. What I was mentioning. Oh, did I say dark? It's actually Dart. Yeah, Dart programming language, very different. Yeah, this one. And then Olama, that's something, oh yes, Olama is what it's using, and there's something that it's super powerful, it's really good. It's open source, and it does have a really bright future, in my opinion. So I suggest you to have a look at Olama and to dig further into it, because there's so much you can learn from Olama. Alright, so here we have to wait. It's creating the core architecture. See, it's a little bit like slow. It's doing a lot by itself. And I believe that's really nice, because it's autonomous. It does things by itself. It's smart. You have basically an engineer living inside of your computer. And for the comments, yeah, like having a live OS, it's like super powerful. You know, nowadays we can have any software, like I want to have a better ConvertKit or MailChimp, or I want to have a better Podia to host my courses. I want to have a Ghost blogging. I mean, of course it's open source, but if I don't know how to host it on my server, I can just ask Claude Code to do it and to connect to my VPS, if I have a virtual private server, or if I have like a hosting on probably on the cloud with DigitalOcean or AWS, I can ask Claude Code to do it for me if I give my credentials. I can have call.com. It's actually open source, and we can self-host it on our server. It can be self-hosted on our server. So if we a lot of people don't know it's open source, but it's 100% open source. There are a lot of things like this, and everything is possible, and it's the personal software era. AI gives the personal software era. It's basically out there. We don't have to subscribe to a new service. We can all have our own software built for our specific needs. And this author, Lee Robinson, he described this so well. A single-use software, and then he said, yeah, home-cooked application. This is exactly what we are building, a home-cooked application for learning data science, for instance. And then he's sharing the personal software era, and it's really that. It's a personal software era. And to me, it's fascinating how it evolved. Like, it's evolving so quickly, and it's just fascinating. So yeah, personal software era, everybody will have their own language app built for themselves, their own fitness app, their own diet app, food tracker app, could be stress anxiety app. Feel a bit anxious. Well, I have my anxiety meditation slow down app, an app that helps me to breathe in, breathe out, to slow down, to like white noise app. We are really in the personal software era. It has never been so true. And we are still waiting. Of course, with Claude Code, especially for complex tasks, it's taking quite a long time, but it's normal. And again, in the meantime, while we are waiting, we can really have like a live OS thanks to commands, Claude set shortcut to write newsletter in our own way. I'm not sure if Perplexity will help much, otherwise I will have to jump to Claude.ai. But here I will just change Claude Code. Perfect, like this. And you will see we also have a research mode actually, which is really powerful. We can export what we research into a PDF or a different format. And here it says here, so we have custom / comments, super powerful. So for instance, we can have a quick edit, generate ideas. Who doesn't like that? Perspective analytics. So there are a lot of ideas. Show me an example. And I'm doing that while waiting for Claude Code to finish here. And you can see it's writing actually the license file. We can have, and it's me, yeah, it knows my name. That's me, but it should be 2025. It's not 2024. And here we can have a look actually to our project. If I do a list, I do a CD. So comment directory, CD stands for Unix. It's comment directory, no, change directory, yes, change directory. I tend to forget that one. Learn AI data science, and we can do ls. We have this for now. That's the file we have. The license, it's already done. We just have to change to 2025. We quickly do that now. In the meantime, yeah, 2025 with nano. And here I can add my URL. So markdown https ://ph7.me. Perfect. And then I can do this way. Beautiful. So now it looks already better. Our license file. All right. Now, do you want to continue? Yes. And don't ask again for yes. No. And tell Claude what to do. Yeah. So for us it's number 2. Perfect. Misting. All right. So we have development now. Markdown. We have lib. Data learning content.dart. And it's still continuing. Really fascinating. And you see here we have a lot of tokens actually being used. I wonder how much it will cost so far, but it's just a couple of dollars. And if you wanted to outsource such an app, it would have cost you thousands of dollars, even more. Once I got a code and it was like $60K, and by yourself hours and hours, so it would have costed the same if you either have built it by yourself, because time is money and time is life. And if you had outsourced this kind of project, again, regardless where you would have done it, if it was in Ukraine, Russia, India, Sri Lanka, it would have costed you a lot. All right, so we have to wait here. AI generated. And that's for the Duolingo, because it should look a little bit like this. Accept on edit. Alright, so what should I do now? Shift, yeah. Alright, plan mode. Oh, that's interesting. The project is fully scaffolded. Oh, beautiful. And ready for development. All core functionality is implemented. Hurrah! You just need to install Flutter and run the app. We can ask install Flutter for and ensure the app works on Flutter. Install Flutter latest version, of course, it's better to specify. Latest version, its latest version. And Flutter, let's go to Flutter, yes. Flutter.dev, beautiful, the .dev TTL, I mean the .dev domain extension is actually owned by Google. Domain extension TTL. Isn't it? Oh, TLD, sorry, my bad. I don't know why I say TTL. TLD. TLD. It's actually owned by Google and they have flutter.dev. We can see here. It's a generic top level domain. So TLD, top level domain. And generic is like .dev, what else? There are so many .space, .Paris, .Sydney. That's for name of like cities. And then you have .club dot there are a lot actually. TLD domain GTLD. There are so many. Some are super expensive, some are less expensive. .club, yeah. int, .pro, .biz, yeah. All right. So do you want to proceed? Yes, I'm happy with this. So I will do yes and don't ask again for Flutter comments. So I will do number 2. No such directory. Oh no, I don't have development folder. All right. So now I will do number 2 again. Do not ask me anymore and to do it for it. So I will just Google that one. You know, it's funny because perplexity is amazing, but we cannot really use it as a verb. We cannot do, can you Google it for me? Can you perplexity it for me? It sounds less like, it's harder to use it as a verb. Can you Google that? Can you perplexity that? Yeah, it's okay, but should be a bit shorter, in my opinion. Thundering, so yeah. We sound in loud, deep noise, yeah. Number 2. Okay, so as we can see, it's like progressing super fast. Also for pull request, I was looking at that. There's a comment for pull request, PR, pull request. Creating pull request, Claude understand the shorthand PR and will generate an appropriate commit message based on the diff and surrounding context. This is super powerful, you see. Creating a pull request. So you have PR comment to generate an appropriate commit message based on the diff and surrounding context. And there are many other things we can do. This eliminates the need to remember GH comment line syntax while automating routine tasks. Yes. Alright, so it got an error here with the drawing of this, probably due to my computer. So when there's an error, it's learning and we're trying other possibilities, like exactly like how an engineer would do. It behaves exactly the same. So now, actioning it. It will think and we do it for us. But there are a lot of comments, and you see also for Jupyter notebooks. As a data scientist, I have used notebooks a lot, the Jupyter notebooks, and it's super powerful. We can indeed open it on VS Code, and there is also something there. So optimize your workflow. Yeah. Below apply across all workflows, which is good. Just apply. So a lot of options we have here. We can ask after to commit this for us. File get commit, and I will look already here. No, we don't have a commit yet. I will do a git init. I have an alias for G, so it's G init for me. And then I can already do initial commit. First initial commit. Perfect, of our app. Did we have a git ignore? No, we need a git ignore to be created too. Yeah, that's important. But you can see we are progressing and we are getting there, so that's super exciting. We just have to wait a bit more, and I know installing Flutter shouldn't take that long actually, but it's because there are some incompatibilities with my machine. As you can see, that task is almost as complex as building the first POC, so the first proof of concept for our learning data science app. Because here we are not done yet. Run the terminal setup. Yeah. We need to wait, and we are getting there. And here it's asking me to install CocoaPods. So I say yes, because we need this for the Flutter version for iOS. And we said at the moment we want a iOS version only. We will focus only on iOS for now. But because we use Flutter, it will give us the flexibility. If it works well on the iOS market, it means there's probably a need to have it as well on the Android on the Google Play. Google Play for Android And that's why for me, I thought it was better to use Flutter. We can also have a web version very easily with Flutter. We are getting there. It's fixing the version conflict. So similar, yeah, resolving dependencies, pop specs. So we are nearly there. And after, yeah, I would like to have a kind of live OS as well for all contents I do easily with comments. And that's also something I will screencast so you can exactly do the same for you. And I will publish a video as well on my channel. So I suggest you to subscribe, of course. And that way you can stay tuned to see more contents like this, and especially me also later on building my live OS where you can also to automate everything in your life thanks to Claude Code. And we will also see how we can install Claude Code extension. Oh yeah, we already have it actually installed, my bad, but we didn't use it yet. So we have here Claude Code, really nice one. And Claude Code is like super good. You see that little one? It's really nice. Apple Music, no. To access, download free, yeah, that's okay. And here, desktop, yes. No. Alright. Oh, Claude Coder, that's funny. That one is not an official one. Right, Code AI, yeah. Alright, so here we are. Oh, I thought it was finished. Ouch, there are still some errors. It's looking there, what to fix. Let's go to this session, and you see it's looking for feedback. We can mention, oh, feedback. That's nice, you know, it's like when you are in an airport and you have to tap like the feedback kiosk airport where you have the smile and this kind of feedback. You see this a lot these days where you say, yeah, I'm super happy or not happy at all. How would you rate our service? And it looks a little bit similar here where you just tap this customer feedback, happy or not. A smiley terminal, they call it a smiley terminal. That's funny, smiley terminal. Alright, so now it's running the terminal setup. And we can see exactly what new files it changed. We have, after we'll ask to have a git ignore file because at the moment we don't have any. But I will already commit this. And here we do show flutter depths resolve, yeah, probably resolve. I could automate also the git commit message. You can just go to GitHub, and with GitHub Copilot you can automate, you can generate a commit message done by AI for you. But here in my case, that's, you know, even faster to do small commits. So sometimes I do it through AI, sometimes I just do it by myself. Alright, so I think we are close to finish because we have the installation complete, and that's a good news. macOS desktop target, beautiful, accept edits, yes. Alright, so we do tab, and I'm happy with this. We can do shift tab. It's now shortcut. What's a shortcut? Yeah. So it has finished. So we can just do flutter run. And for macOS, we can just run that command and it's all done. And we should actually do it in our terminal. So in my case, if I run this inside of the, oh, it's downloading, yeah. Still something to download. And we can also try that in our terminal. Oh, it doesn't have Flutter yet. or maybe I need to source. I will actually restart, and I will open a new window here, and then I will do learn AI data science. Lovely. So we are very close, as we can see. And then I will do this, and we can see now it's launching our main.dart for macOS in debug mode. The v0.1, the alpha version of our application. It's the start, it's the beginning. We still have quite a lot to do, but you know, that's part of the challenge. And I had actually an error, and we will have a look together about it. It's related to the configuration. It's just that it doesn't have in macOS desktop configuration. It's nothing to be scared of, because it's just that something is missing, and that's normal. And do you remember, I'm not sure if you still remember, we said we want that application to be on iOS, only iPhone. So it makes sense probably that we have nothing for macOS. And we can have a look to the architecture, to the structure of the project. So if I do open Finder here, that's my project. And that's the different files I have. We can also see we have not a lot though for the tests, but we will ask later on Claude Code to write some tests for us. This is just like normal one that doesn't do anything with our project. It's an empty test, like a sample test. So in our case, we need to write tests, and we'll ask Claude Code to do that for us. And that's the architecture of our project, the source code. So a lot, really good. That's a model. We use Llama 3.2, and I don't want to have it hard-coded, at least not in that file. So we will also ask Claude to change a little bit what we need. That's for all Llama. Yeah. But we are getting there. The first thing I wanted to do first, you know, the comments we spoke before, all of these comments, clear, compact, for instance, for a summary, and to group the summary of what has been done, and we can actually run that one. PR comments, that's really handy. We spoke already about it, but we have rewind as well. You see, we have a lot of different comments, and I'm going to run compacting conversation for us so we can have a summary. And again, now it's running. And while we are waiting for the conversation to be compacted and so we can have a summary, I will show it to you directly on my browser here. If you go to Claude documentation, you can see here reference. We can, if you just search for /comments, you will see it here, /comments, and that's the list of the different available comments we can use: config, const, doctor, help, login, logout, MCP, memory, model, permissions, PR comments, review, rewind. Review, it's really nice, is to request a code review, super powerful. Then we have the terminal setup, usage, Vim, and so on. Vim is the text editor. In my case, I use NeoVim. If you want NeoVim, this one. NeoVim, it's a better Vim version basically. And yeah, I suggest you to actually play around. It's super powerful. But yeah, so that's the /comments available, the default /comments, because we can create new ones. And it's very handy. It saves you a lot of time. Again, like how we said it at the beginning, how I mentioned that for OpenAI, for the ChatGPT OpenAI they have, so that's the alternative of Claude Code, is Codex. It's basically the same. I showed you the VS Code extension of Codex, similar to Claude Code, VS Code. That one. But for us, if you don't want to use Claude, you can always use Codex, and it does have something similar. It also do offer this kind of comments. Of course, it's a little bit different because here it's OpenAI. Codex, in our case, we use Claude Code, but they also use, like, they work the same way basically. And Codex, it's If you are more an OpenAI person, well, Codex is for you. If you are more a Anthropic person, then Claude Code is for you. Yeah, it's funny because AI, like, LLM models and so on, it's still relatively new. Claude and OpenAI has been out there for a long time, for like 5-6 years, but they really, like the public, everybody learned about OpenAI in 2022, falls 2022, beginning of 2023. So it's only a few years. And people are already like, okay, I'm like Anthropic person, or a bit like Android and Apple, iPhone and Android, Google. It's the same, me, I'm only using a Samsung, or you have a Google Pixel, or okay, you are like 100% iPhone user. With AI, it's funny because it's the same kind of like religion, beliefs. Oh, I'm 100% Anthropic. Oh, you are OpenAI. So then I just believe in Codex. It's funny how something so new can already have different tribes, different groups of users. All right, okie dokie. So where are we now? Compact. We have installation complete, Flutter setup status, and you have spent, so we have used, wow, this is actually already a lot. We have used already the $5 for this session. So it's actually more expensive than I thought. That's interesting. Copilot, yeah. Well, we are at the end of our credit, so I will top up our balance. But I thought it would have been cheaper because the project is from scratch. From my experience, I think they also increased the price lately, actually. And the free plans, the free tiers, are also more and more limited. From my experience, I have used the previous versions before, and similarly for Codex in the past. And you could do way more than, like I was working on the existing project, so there were a lot of data to read. Here it's just a project from scratch. I do have GitHub Copilot for free in my case, the premium models, because I am a open source contributor. I have a lot of open source projects, and automatically GitHub gives me the free plan, the premium models for Copilot. They're very nice. And also I'm still a student because I'm finishing my Master of Data Science. So I'm still a active part-time student. Of course, it's part-time, but regardless if you're part-time or full-time, you can have GitHub Education Pack. And inside of the GitHub Education Pack, you have Copilot with the premium models. And you can do way more actually with this because it's free actually. And so $5, I think this is quite quick. So I suggest you actually, if you're a student, part-time, full-time, doesn't matter, or if you are a open source contributor, like myself, in my case, I'm eligible on both sides, either student or open source, as an open source contributor. And you can, I'm also inside, I enrolled the GitHub Student Developer Pack because you have way more than just GitHub Copilot. You have a lot of free memberships, free tiers that are normally you have to pay for them. You also have a domain name you can use. In my case, I used the .live, I remember, for name.com, and then I also used the .tech, quite nice. You see, you have quite a lot, but domain names is really handy. And then you also have this one for the hosting. You see, you have quite a lot. I also used the DigitalOcean. And then you have, that one is different, but you have Codex. It's different than Codex. It's funny, the names. Codex, that's OpenAI, this one. And Codex, that's different. And that's the to learn Python. And it's really cool too. It's like, the gamification is amazing. So it's like a video game. And you learn Python that way, especially for the beginners. It's really nice. I suggest you actually to play with it. And where I am, because normally, I need to sign in again. I will show you actually when I will be sending in, so I can show you my profile here on Codidex. Even though it's mostly for beginners, like if you don't really know Python, or if you still want to learn a bit, or just you are curious, this Codidex project is really fun. I really liked it. I remember I had a really fun time. It's really much like a video game. And then you have quite a lot. So for any, like if you have a bachelor, if you are studying a master, PhD, or I think it's also if you are still at school, like, you know, you are high school student, or you are I believe it's for all students. In my case, I mean, like my master is at the University of James Cook University. And doesn't matter where in the world you are, doesn't matter on what continent, you will be able to enroll this, unless you are in a country where GitHub is not available. That could be an issue. But yeah, that's a cheaper option. I'm a little bit disappointed. I will top up my balance anyway, but that's the end of this session, I would say. And I will probably make another video, a long course later on, where I will increase my balance, because now we'll have to log in again to console.claude.ai to top up. Now, keep in mind that if you have the auto balance option enabled, it's using your credit automatically to top up for you. But it might also be dangerous if you don't have a limit, because then you can easily end up with like a huge bill. Yes. All right. So I hope this session, this course was really helpful for you. I have done it the way I would have wanted for myself, like a bit chilled. We speak also about more personal things. I like, in my case, usually to learn about my instructor. And I don't like when the instructor is really reserved and the instructor doesn't really speak about their own project. Like in my case, I'm so passionate. For now 10, 15 years, I have been building on the web, and building projects is really part of my life. It's really much like who I am and who I define myself. Like, I love solving problems. I love learning and researching new things every day on daily basis. Once again, you have also my YouTube channel. If you are a senior software engineer, don't hesitate to contact me as well on LinkedIn, for instance. And I would love to share and to learn from you by doing an interview. So we would do an interview like this one, a podcast interview. And you don't have to be a senior engineer, but if you have interesting story, either from like an AI project or LLM or blockchain or IoT, the Internet of Things, or could be something very different, SaaS, a neobank project, something you have done in your at work, and you'd like to share a bit to my audience, and we can even interview each other, vice versa, on each other's channel. That could be something I would love to do as well. So don't hesitate to contact me. Don't be shy, because I really love speaking with other software engineers. This is really part of what I really love. And I'm also on Substack. So it's Pierre Henry. You can reach me on my Substack here. I publish a lot of articles and posts on my Substack. And that's the one I published last night. It's short, but it's really what I wanted to share about why we should build mini project experience and how it compounds. And the power of this is that you will build a routine, and instead of learning and consuming contents, it's normal to have the imposter syndrome, but at some point we have to say, yes, I'm knowledgeable enough. I know more than the average engineers for teaching that, or the average people who want to learn what I know. So let's do it. And teaching is amazing because it reinforces the knowledge, the raw knowledge you just learned in your head, and it helps you to schematize, like to, how do you say it? Schematize. Of course, English is not my mother language. Schematize. Do you say this one?
Schematize.
Oh. Like French is my mother language. Bonjour.
Schematize.
Schematize. Sorry, I said schematize, isn't it? Yeah. Schematize.
Schematize.
It's a funny one. Schematize, because in French we say schématiser. Schematize. So when you teach, you schematize, you clarify what you learned, and you reinforce the knowledge by teaching back what you have just learned. So it's extremely powerful. And yeah, that's what I do, and that's what I share here. Build a small project. In my case, I was like rebuilding something I had to do for my master, because we do SAS. And so I'm teaching that into a modern Python ML pipeline. So that's the James Cook Data Science Master and subject. So it's in the master level subject, because in Australia you have graduate certificate, graduate diploma, and then master, and then you have professional master, and professional master is 16 credits. I mean 16, sorry, not 16 credits, 16 subjects, because one subject is 3 credits. And in my case, I'm ending the master level. And if we look at the subjects, SAS is not my cup of tea, but it is what it is. And when we go to the handbook here, they don't do too much AI, but now it's your responsibility to learn AI. I know it's a little bit like, why? But yeah, it's expensive for no reason. I do agree, but this was a goal for me. I wanted to also have a master in addition of my bachelor degree, and my bachelor degree is in computer science, so I wanted to have a data science as well. It's just, some people like to play tennis. In my case, I wanted to study data science. It's a little bit like, I don't know, I would do some play, like theater plays, drama plays, evening courses. Drama plays, evening. I've done that in the past. I wonder if they have any here. I wonder, like, you can also share with me your, drama school. Like, play, it's not really popular in Australia. I mean, not really like in Europe, where in Europe, this kind of theater play, it's really, really famous. And so, yes, in my case, that one was the first SAS subject I had. And then after on the master level, it was here. That's the one I'm finishing. Advanced Data Management and Analysis using SAS. So that one was a tough one because I didn't like it. And then there was MATLAB. MATLAB also, is it really worth it? I don't think so, but it is what it is. Mathematics, where it is. I'm not sure. Oh, sorry. I think now they removed. They do have this one instead. But in my case, I had a MATLAB subject, and then Advanced Data Management. Yeah, professional, and that's these 4 ones I will not have because that's part of the professional subject. And that one is actually the internship is. In my case, I do have another subject because again, like I don't have this one. From this, they do have some variants depending on the campus because they do offer the master degree in different campuses. Again, like James Cook universities, they have like 4 campuses across Australia. So yeah, very good, very nice. Try like a new AI tool, and it doesn't have to be long, just like 30 or 45 minutes each day to explore a new idea. And it doesn't have to be big, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, now it's better something small, incomplete but perfect than something perfect but incomplete. But that's more like in the startup world. And then here, I'm really sharing a little bit like my thoughts. And that was a nice one. I was in the cafe yesterday writing this one. So yeah, just let me know what you think about it and what's your thoughts. And again, any feedback for this course, just let me know in comment. I wish you all of the best. happy AI, happy building, project building journey. Yes, I will see you in another video. Bye bye.